Welcome back to another The Ancient Magus Bride review. Today is episode 11. I'm Justin,
What is up? I'm Logan.
and together we're Couch Talk. As always, we are anime viewers only, so no spoilers down below. We're going to discuss the episode and give our scores at the end. You ready?
Let's do it.
Let's jump in. So, the beginning basically just starts with Elias contemplating about what he's been talked to about last time. He's just sitting there, chilling.
Throughout this episode, it seems like something's on Elias's mind.
I think it has to do with the whole, well, they kind of flash back to it with Ren and Fred telling him that you need to let her be a little more independent, essentially. And anyway, we go back to Lyndall and Chise, because he's still telling her the story. So Lyndall and Elias decided they basically traveled together for years. They just say for years. They don't really say how long they were together or anything specifically.
Yeah, it could be a long ass time, but I mean, years in general is a long time to just travel with someone.
And he's his apprentice. Elias is Lyndall's apprentice, because at this point Elias has no idea exactly who he is, so Lyndall has to teach him the ways. And that's what we basically get, is like a montage of Elias learning about the world with Lyndall. Until one night, they were running low on food. Elias was about to just slaughter some bunny for fun. But they're like, let's just go into town. We're gonna go get some food. But that basically brought up because he said Elias felt like he was missing something. And basically what he's missing here when they go to the town is the little girl that Lyndall is going to heal her brother, but she sees Elias in his shadow.
Right. Elias is doing his little hide in your shadow trick.
His hide thing. So, and he talked about it in one of the other episodes, how children have the ability to like notice things, and why he doesn't like children is because of that. And this is kind of,
I feel like,
helps emphasize why he doesn't like children.
This is probably what he was referring to, would be my guess.
So yeah, she kind of sees him in the shadow and assumes it's a demon, which, I mean, it's a safe assumption. You see a shadow moving around with red glowing eyes.
He even looks like
a demon, and you should slay it. And that's basically what happens. The town's like, holy crap, there's a fucking demon in here. We need to slay it. And as they're running away, Lyndall's like, I didn't know a child of sight would be here. Which kind of unlucky for him. Because obviously not every children have it. They're just more inherently able to see it. And he gets hit in the head by a rock. And this is where Elias, he's like, I have to protect my master. And protect the one person that I know I care about or whatever. And he goes,
Elias
true demon
was not gonna stop.
No, he was not.
I'm pretty sure if Lyndall didn't step in, he would have killed them. Maybe not all of them, at least one. Yeah. Because I feel like if you kill one, the others are dipping.
It looks like he could have killed them easier, but it looked like he was just kind of hurting them back in a way. But he probably would have kept going.
Right. Well, he leaped at one with his mouth open.
True, that's when he got stopped. Because Lyndall was like, yo, no, don't do that. And then he teleports them out into like this other dimension. The realm of the gods, I think is what he said. Or something along those lines. And this is where it's like, alright. But Elias takes care of him here, because as we've said, he's missing something. It's like he's missing maybe a little bit of humanity, or maybe something else,
like
as
a
Lyndall
piece
kind of said.
Of himself. I think him not knowing about his past is like what's missing, because he's in a place he's like, I don't know what I am. And I think it's others can like, even Lyndall's like, he just looks kind of lost or just off compared to everything else.
Yes. And then we get this next scene where Elias makes soup for him, And then he's like, I think I've eaten a human.
Yeah,
And it's like,
that's probably the last thing I'd want to hear when I'm injured and alone in the middle of nowhere with him.
yes, because like as Lyndall says later, Shachise, he was kind of scared
Yeah, like,
at that moment. He's like, because he asked Chise, he's like, what do you think about that? Chise's like, well, I've never actually all the times I've been around Elias, I've never been scared.
right. But we did have
Um,
that flashback to where she was like sleeping and he was like slowly going
yes,
towards
I
her.
think that she's like, oh, maybe he has eaten a human, but she still, even in that moment, she wasn't like scared. I think if anything, it reminded her of that scene with her mother, because we do see her mother take the place of Elias in that flashback.
Right.
Maybe her mother was gonna strangle her once.
That
You
could
know?
that could be what it's. Yeah, I could see that. But I mean, Elias did admit he's like, I have the urge to.
Yes.
Like he feels the need to eat people, which is kind of weird.
And Lyndall's just like, you know, man, you eat a lot of good food, you won't need that urge anymore.
He's like, I hope that's how it works. I'm sure at the time he's like, please help.
I think it's a valid point. Once you have a lot of good food and you realize how something like, oh, this is good, and then you go eat something else, you're like, wait a minute, that wasn't fucking good.
Right, but it kind of helps. It kind of makes me think that, kind of based off our theories last time, like how he might be like a chimera or something, or like he might be made. It kind of makes me think like he has a animal instinct, because like an urge to like eat something isn't like, that's not really natural. Well, I mean, humans do have urges or like cravings, but he like acknowledges his urge to eat people.
Yes. We do learn he's a bad cook. And Lyndall's like, hey, people are worse. And, you know, people are pretty messed up. So, I mean, he's trying to basically say he's trying to make Elias think he's not a monster.
Right, he's trying to comfort him.
He's trying to be a master. And he also mentions multiple times how Elias is stuck as a child, which kind of throws me at my other theories, like, kind of like Joseph, he was cursed as a child as well. And maybe that's why he seems off or lost, is because, like, and why he doesn't fully understand all these concepts yet, like, love and these other things that, like, keep coming up, where he seems kind of, like, not fully understanding.
Like him and Joseph, like Elias and Joseph, have a strong connection that we don't know about yet.
Yes. And that's my theory, is that maybe Elias was also cursed as a child. Except for with immortality, he messed up or something. Maybe he dabbled in black magic, we don't know. Or maybe he got involved in black magic somehow due to someone else.
Right.
And maybe the same thing happened with Joseph too. Like,
we'll see. We will see.
Yeah,
I'm
see.
sure it'll reveal.
Those are my theories for now. But after the storytelling, we go back to the back to her trying to get her wand. But before that, we do see her fall in the water again, and we see this awesome sea dragon.
I feel like the show tries to get her in the water just to animate cool things. Because they even acknowledge it. It's like, you end up in the water a lot. But
she does.
The sea dragon was cool.
Yeah, and like, it also, she comes out, she's like, I saw an amazing thing. This goes back to her caring more about what's around her and in life, and she's starting to actually find things she enjoys.
Right.
And she's very emotional.
Because the first time she fell in the
happy.
water, she just kind of sank and didn't care. At the same place.
Exactly.
She just sank and was like, whatever, I'm dead, or I'm just gonna sink. But now she's like, did you see that? That shit was cool.
It was. So they have to cut her hair, and hair holds magic. So, which is kind of weird, but it does. A lot of things. Magic's just kind of in everything. Um,
Right.
and her hair is the color of Earth, they say, the red. So she actually has. Not only is she like a rare slave baggy, she's got rare hair. She's got all the rare abilities stacking up here to be like the ultimate slave baggy.
She rolled the perfect stat roll when she was.
Quit being a nerd. So yeah, so I, and then to move on from there, you have to carve your. They get a whole bunch of different wood. They're like, all right, carve your own wand, and he holds her, gives her, a round piece of wood. I feel like would take me forever to fucking carve. I'd be like, all right, I got this round thing. There's really not a lot you can do with that to make a wand.
You're basically just trimming it to make it skinny.
Yeah, it's exactly like. And I swear, when she trimmed it down, it is longer than the piece that was given to her.
I feel like Lindell kind of purposely, like, didn't help her. Not just because he's like, oh, you should do it because it's your wand, but, like, I think he wanted her to, like, think about herself. Because even she mentioned, she's like, I've
never thought about myself.
Yeah.
But he also said it's customary for them to carve their own, and then the senior finishes it. So, but it's also a good chance. I think it's probably like, hey, this is a good chance for everybody to reflect on themselves. Because you're literally going to be carving this piece of wood all day.
For hours on end, Jesus.
Because it's a small knife, a big piece of wood.
I'd get so bored, dude. I'd be like, give me an axe.
I'd chop like a little bit and be like, this is my wand. Just a big stick I'm going to whack people with.
Just give me like a staff. It'll be a wand staff.
No, you got to carve the staff.
Well, just give me a branch.
Yeah, so basically it's just her kind of like thinking about herself, and Ruth is just like, no, you got to do this. And I'm just going to chill here all day. You can just use me as a backrest. Cause it's funny how like Ruth is with her this whole episode and has like maybe 3 lines.
Yeah. He's kind of just a bodyguard most of the time.
But then we can also get more important pieces here about names. The names that they get, they have those mage names. We're like, why does these people have so many names? We thought it was like mage names, and we brought that up, but we get the fact that their names describe their features and true nature, which makes sense with Elias being the thorn mage when he's whacking people with his thorns. And he is the I forgot what his actual mage name was, but it has to do with songs and flowers and stuff.
Right.
And actually, this is probably like one of my favorite scenes throughout the show so far. It's just him singing, and just the animation during this was just so perfect.
I feel like whoever makes this loves to show. They're like, hey, you want to see some cool shit? And then they animate it like super well. Like there's been a few moments that stand out where it's just like, damn, that looks so cool. And this was definitely one of them. It's like, wow.
And he brought the place to life. And because Chisei was like thinking of Elias, she ended up by boosting off his magic, basically making a mirror wall or a water mirror to be able to talk to Elias, which is a neat way to bring in Elias without him actually being there.
Right.
It always made it seem like, oh, maybe he's there with her, or like all of a sudden now. And he's just like pops out of the water, but it was just a water mirror.
Right. And Elias still doesn't understand like emotional concepts because he said it feels cold without her there, which he's basically saying he misses her.
He's alone. Yeah, he's lonely.
He's lonely and he misses her. Which it's kind of cool to see like him slowly developing this like more human side because of her. Even though I still have my suspicions, like I still appreciate how he like they're kind of learning at the same time. Because like Chisei, obviously was probably neglected a lot, didn't have very emotional bonds with her family. So she had to open up, and then Elias has to open up. So they're kind of like learning and
Yeah, exactly. I
experiencing.
think it goes back to like Lyndall saying, like in this lesson, he's like, they're both children, and I'm raising them. Like he's been with Elias for how many years, and he still thinks of him as a child. Like they've known each other for like 500 years or something like that. It was. Um, so for him to still think of him as a child, it looks like Elias feels like he's kind of like disconnected from the world. He has very few contacts, mostly Simon from the church, Lyndall, and then Angelica,
Right.
and that's mostly it. So like he hasn't had really a chance to evolve or whatever, but or even have emotions with someone
Right.
besides just your general uh, friendship with people. And now he's starting to build this like the scene. It shows him and Chisei's bond like actually tightening and thickening. Like they're actually developing a stronger bond, and you
Right.
can really see that between the two, how they miss each other and they want to get back with each other. Like Chisei's like, I want to be there right after I finish my wand.
Right.
Um,
Which is kind of like interesting considering what she's been told, like about his past, how he's like kind of, he has the urges to eat people or whatever, and kind of
yeah,
mysterious.
she even tells him, she's like, I've been learning a lot about you.
Yeah.
And he's like, damn that old man.
But it is nice to see.
Yes, exactly. And it's just knowing more about each other will help them build their bond. And I think we're going to see more of them prying into each other's past
Right.
and probably learning more about it. We're going to learn more about them as the show goes on, and I really look forward to that.
Yeah.
So that's essentially how the episode ends.
Yeah. I was going to
we want to
ask
go into...
real quickly, the ending scene, did that feel a bit unsettling? It showed like, what's her name? Silky. It looks like she's burying the message bird, and then it like cuts to like the stove off and just Elias something about that just felt.
I did not even notice that she was burying the bird. I just thought she was doing some potting or whatever. But now that you mention it, I can see it. Tell. All right, we don't have to discuss it. Do you think the magic's what killed the bird?
That's one thing. So it's either like the magic kills the bird or something, or maybe Elias did it for some unknown reason. I'm thinking
I think the magic just kills the bird. That's what I'm gonna go with.
It's just something about the scene.
Like you have to use life to give. I mean, they're using the death to give birth to life, or the whole cycle thing. So they're burying it to probably make some plants. Now the question is, are all those plants in there used with dead messenger birds?
Maybe something about this scene just. I think it's in contrast to the scene before, how it was like so vibrant and so colorful, and then this scene's just like quiet, dark, and you're like, whoa.
Yeah, there's not much sound at all. There's no background music really, and she's right. The bird, he's kind of just looking up in the dark.
Maybe it was just to show like how lonely.
Fireplace.
Maybe it was just to show just how like lonely it is there, or like how.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's like he says, like Chisei kind of brings life to the place when she's there.
Right.
Because Silky doesn't talk really at all.
For some reason.
Or
they might have.
Yeah.
I don't think they mentioned.
They probably just sit there in the dark.
That's a bit weird.
Chilling, and then now Chisei's there. They don't have to sit in the dark anymore.
Right. Yeah, I just wanted to. It just something about it just made me feel a bit strange. But that's it.
All right, now do you want to go into the scores?
Let's do it. You and me go?
Yeah, you got this.
I'll give it an 8, a solid 8. We got more background on Elias, which is always appreciated. It kind of showed his struggle of being whatever he is, of like not knowing how to interact with anything really, just him being treated as like a demon. Also, it kind of showed, I guess, Lyndall more about Lyndall, like what type of person he is. It's good to get like they kind of kill two birds with one stone. It kind of shows like Lyndall and Elias's relationship while Lyndall tells it to Chisei, so she's also learning about it. And I mean the animation, I feel like they use this episode just to show off their guns. They're just like, look at this cool shit we can do. And like the music, it was very vibrant. It was very just, you just sat there and you're like, damn, that's so cool. Like, wow. And I like they continue to build Chisei and Elias like individually but also simultaneously, which is really neat. Like they'll show how Elias became how he is. They show Chisei how she became how she is, and then they kind of like push them together. But yeah.
I'm gonna actually give it a 9. Last time I gave it the lower score. This time I'm giving it the higher score. Gotta keep it fresh.
We balance out.
Yeah. So yeah, like I mentioned about the song, I just think that's an incredibly well done scene. First of all, anytime there's like a song and a show with a character singing, I'm all in. I just love kind of like random musical kind of things. And of course, the animation was so fan-fucking-tastic. The story and character advancement was really well done this episode, as you've kind of mentioned. You know, the whole Lyndall telling the story, Chisei's getting it, and they did a very good job of just developing and fleshing out the characters. And you mostly get that from a third-party view, which I like, and it doesn't have to be directly from the character himself. I think it's better doing it this way than just if Elias would have just flat out told her all this. I do like that, how Chisei's learning more about Elias through all these different characters.
Right.
And the episode is kind of very poetic, which I liked. I don't know, the show just feels poetic like all the time. I think just because how it pulls from all the stories and stuff of like the you know, like literature and stuff like that. But yeah, this episode is just really well done. Nothing, can't really point out any weaknesses, but yeah, just fantastic.
Hey.
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
That's it.
You know what else is fantastic? Your spiels. Let's hear it.
Thanks, man. As always, be sure to like, subscribe, share the video. All that truly helps. Hit the notification bell down below if you want to be notified every time we upload. Comment, let us know what you thought about the episode, what you didn't like. Let us know if there's anything we missed that you want to point out. Maybe anything you agree, disagree with on. Just don't confirm or deny theories, as we are anime viewers only, so we don't know anything about that manga. And yeah, be sure to subscribe. Until next time, peace out.
See ya.